Okay, so ready to dive in.
Absolutely, let's do it.
Awesome. Today we're tackling effective altruism, which sounds a bit, well, academic maybe,
Mm.
but stick with us.
Yeah, it's actually way more interesting than the name might suggest.
Right. And that's kind of what we do here, right? Take potentially complex topics and, make them make sense.
Break it down.
Exactly. So we're using this YouTube video called Effective Altruism, Maximizing Impact and Doing Good Better as our jumping off point.
Good one. I actually watched that recently.
Yeah. And honestly, just that title alone, it kind of hit me like, wait, can we actually maximize how much good we do in the world? And what would that even look like? I don't know, it just got me curious.
It's a big question, right? I mean, most people want to do good, right?
Yeah.
But this effective altruism thing, it pushes us to go further. It's not just about good intentions. It's about using like actual evidence and reasoning to figure out where our efforts can really make a difference.
So it's not just about like following your heart or donating to whatever cause makes you feel good in the moment.
Yeah. Not exactly. It's about doing good better, as the video says.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So walk me through this. What are some of the, I guess, principles of effective altruism? Like, how do we actually do good better?
So one of the big ideas they talk about is this thing called counterfactual thinking.
Okay, counterfactual thinking sounds kind of complicated.
It's actually not that bad. It's basically like this. Imagine you donate to a charity, right?
Right.
Counterfactual thinking basically asks, would your donation have actually made a difference, or would that person or cause have been helped anyway?
Oh, okay. So, like, if a charity's already super well funded, maybe my $10 isn't going to change that much.
Exactly. It makes you think about the true impact of your actions.
Wow, that's actually a really good point. I never really thought about it that way. What else stood out to you from the video?
Well, they talk about something called scope sensitivity.
Scope sensitivity. Okay, break that down for me.
It's about like taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture, understanding how big different problems are and, well, trying to prioritize the ones that could potentially help the most people.
Okay, I think I see where you're going with this. So, like, donating to a local soup kitchen is great, but maybe funding research for a disease that affects millions worldwide could have a larger impact.
Right. It's not that the soup kitchen isn't important. It's about recognizing that our resources, like time and money, are limited. So we have to make choices about where they'll do the most good.
Makes sense. But I guess the tricky part is figuring out which issues are the most pressing, right? I mean, there are so many problems in the world.
Absolutely. And that's where this idea of neglectedness comes in.
Neglectedness.
It's this idea that, well, some causes get a ton of attention and resources, while others that might be just as important kind of fall through the cracks. They get neglected.
Oh, yeah, totally. It's like how some charities become super trendy and everyone jumps on board, but
Yeah.
then other crucial issues are left behind.
Exactly. And then there's tractability.
Tractability. Okay, I'm going to need you to define that one too.
Sure. It basically means figuring out which problems we can actually effectively address with the resources we have. So it's not just about picking the biggest, most neglected problem. It's also about asking if we can actually make a meaningful difference.
Right. Like world hunger is a massive problem, but it's so complex. It can feel overwhelming to even know where to start, let alone actually solve it.
Yeah, so tractability is about focusing on areas where we can see like measurable results, where our efforts can actually move the needle.
Okay, I'm starting to get this. So we've got counterfactual thinking, scope sensitivity, neglectedness, and tractability. It sounds like effective altruism is all about being really, I don't know, analytical about doing good.
Yeah, it's about using our heads and our hearts, right?
I like that.
And one more thing the video really stressed was this idea of constant learning.
Okay, learn.
Yeah, like being open to new information and being willing to change our approach if there's evidence that something else might work better. It's not about being, rigid.
Right, because what we think is the best way to help might not actually be the most effective approach.
Exactly. And as we learn more, we might need to change how we do things.
Hmm. I'm kind of thinking about all the times I've just like impulsively donated to a cause without really researching it. Maybe I should be a bit more thoughtful about it.
Well, and that's the cool thing about effective altruism, right? It's not about telling people what to care about.
Right.
It's more about helping people figure out how to align their giving with their values in the most impactful way possible. So yeah, maybe do some research, see what resonates with you, and then go from there.
I love that. It's like finding that sweet spot where your passion and your desire to help really overlap.
Totally.
This is honestly making me rethink how I approach doing good in the world. I never thought about it in such a strategic way before.
And that's what's so cool about this whole effective altruism thing. It encourages us to think more deeply, be more strategic, and yeah, just be open to new ways of making a difference.
Absolutely. So for everyone listening, if you're feeling inspired, if you want to make your actions truly count, maybe take a look at this affected altruism thing. We've only scratched the surface today, but it's definitely food for thought. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and keep those minds curious.
Always.
All right, that's a wrap. See you next time.
See